bothersome or something. I don't know. No, that's something that's happening today. What's happening in a couple of hours? I want to no. Okay, I guess I want to keep my. Come on. I want to keep my phone orientation the way that it is so that this thing doesn't break. But also, um, yesterday I walked 2 miles and then went to a holiday party, so that's on my mind. Hi. Hello to you, YouTube Detective Williams. What's new for you today? And yeah, no Wi-Fi meat is one way to describe it, maybe. I don't know. We could have other things. We could have cheese, perhaps. How's your week been? Um, I it's kind of the season for holiday parties, I would think. That's okay, well that's sort of the start of a loaded question. I don't know. How you doing? There's um oh no. Okay, like when I when I when I mess up the orientation of this thing, does it like black out or something? I don't know. Let's see. And so, hey guys, I'm I don't know if you have any theories about episode 7 of the Amazing Digital Circus. I like okay, do we think the voice actor Michael Kovac, do we think he was joking when he said Jax dies in there? I think, okay, it's clearly like a choice between two buttons or something. You get some blue, you get some red, but does homie die perhaps? Alright, but hello, how are you? You're saying, I feel like I can study anatomy. I can almost touch the texture of the skin. Okay, yeah. Here's all of my pores all at once. You're saying, you dare make a secret stream only to leave me out, as I was the only one that was out in the Mimi land, and now this, you're sabotaging your Wi-Fi on purpose. So rude. There's things I wanted to do with the Wi-Fi. Things such as the Amazing Digital Circus, although that's not out yet, and things such as download a video game and then be playing the free video game. There's Greg saying Pomni kills Jax with a rock. I like that. All right. You're saying finally the chat loaded. I can speak. Hello to you, Nico Shushu. Hello. And there's and you two are having marriage. Hi. Hey, I shall have one stream at a reasonable hour for you this week, and other streams at this most unreasonable hour. Hey, River. I've 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 gotten to reach a Steven Universe Plus. How are you doing? You finished the season 1. Oh my goodness. I don't know. I clicked into your thoughts sometime at the start of the week and then had enough going on that it's out of my head already. So where are you? Oh right, who's your favorite character or most like intriguing character so far in there yet? You're talking about it, and there's Vectilla saying, "Oh my goodness, everyone is here except a few important people." Very remarkable. I actually went back a couple of streams, and by a couple of streams I mean 2 years ago, to see when YouTube just like who is a I don't know. Okay, I should leave you with like thinking of YouTube just like as a newcomer, and also I'm realizing that I sort of mumble or stutter things a lot. At a party yesterday that I was with my childhood best friend, the doctor, I introduced myself to somebody so badly that they assumed that I didn't learn to speak until I was 4 years old. And then because it was part of a game where you guess facts about a person and my words were coming out really badly, uh, they said that I didn't know how to speak until I was 4 years old, and then everybody cheered, and then that person won $10, which is a very strange reaction to happen to all of that. But this is also, it also amuses me very much. All right, so there's, oh, the volume is pretty bad. Well, usually the volume on these vertical ones is better. I hope it's not something to do with my phone, because I am thinking of selling my old books on Whatnot, but like in a really threatening way. I think that's a good sales tactic. on how to sell things like at a garage sale at least. If you're coming up with a product, it's probably not the best. Where are we? There's Am I a little too close to the screen? Fine. But I mean we're having audio problems, so is this good? I'm in a better sort of position. Good night to you, River. There's okay. You're not able to interpret what the sentence was. Okay, maybe I'm actually mumbling. There's some sleep deprivation happening. Do not do whatnot. It's a sham. I unfortunately my mama is pretty sure she's gonna sell some stuff on whatnot herself, and in order to do that, she's been buying a lot of stuff on whatnot and has a room full of things. I don't know when she's gonna start to sell that stuff, but this frightens me very much that you're saying some good night. I don't know if I can just get rid of like one pile of stuff that I have. Why are you saying it's a sham? I don't know. You're already asleep. Okay. So was the audio problem just that I wasn't speaking loud enough? Is she scalping stuff? I think that might be her dream. That might be my mama's dream to scalp some stuff real good. I think that might be her intention, but she hasn't done a live stream yet, and she's like, "Hello, my daughter, you've done some live streams yourself. What if you got in front of the camera and sold things for me?" And I'm like, I don't know. As long as I can get rid of things that were in my room, I would be down with it. But yeah, the sentence that I was trying to say was that you, Aisha Love, came in here and was like, and we're like thinking of Cedric as a newer sort of person, but I found the stream um where our homie showed up, and and it was actually 2 years ago. It was just sort of after the summer where I was streaming every single day, and so that creates like a sense of a time gap. But it was pretty close. It was pretty close. It was right after that summer. You're saying that's what all the hoarders say. I'm so scared. I am so scared that my mama is going to be a hoarder. It runs in the family, I think. We haven't even clawed our way out of my grandma's stuff. There's Sage of the Diviner saying, "Have you ever eaten a snail?" I want to say, yeah. Thank you for asking. I like talking about things that are in shells that I've eaten that were weird and bizarre. I'm not caught up with the chat now, but I think I've eaten a snail, but I haven't eaten a land snail. I think I've eaten a conch shell snail, and that's what's up. You're saying you're very confused using all your ear power. You've eaten a snail. That's pretty good mother sponsorship. Maybe. Okay, you're saying like an oyster. Okay, are land snails like an oyster? I'm not quite sure, but I mean if they're pretty good, then there's I mean I think he was just a newcomer to me. Yeah, it's not actually okay. And there's a hi to a Joe. Hello to you, Joe. How are you? The topic of a conversation can be whatever you want, but you're saying it was a while ago I said that. That's true. I'm saying this stuff and I'm like I actually have no idea what other people's perception of time is to me. You're saying, "Have you eaten a snail? Were you in France? If not, it's illegal." Fine, what if I go to France and I eat some very legal snails? Does that reverse the illegality? Does it have to be a certain amount? Am I having a lisp? I tried to tell a story just now about how I spoke so unclearly to a person last night that they assumed that I wasn't able to start talking until I was 4, and I wasn't even talking about ages that you start talking. I was trying to introduce myself and explain my name. And it just went in a very wrong direction. You're saying I gotta make sure Patreon. I mean, I think I wanted to set stuff like that up. I locked myself out of my Ko-fi for a second though by like forgetting the password, and then I emailed customer service, and then they were like, "You are trying to enter this with the wrong email, and then I think I was so embarrassed that I forgot to respond to that, even though I like to be polite. Okay, they're saying that you're saying 2 years already. My God, that's a high percentage of my life. Not my fault. You showed up right after being born, 3 years old, and you two City Williams. There's Nico saying, talking about would I like to try out some beaver one day. Don't ask why. I'm just curious. Interesting. You're saying octopi are related to snails. How technically are you talking? I would think that they aren't. Are they like pods? Are they like gastropods or something like that? A beaver, don't eat those cuties. They did nothing wrong. I think that person was trying to insult you very badly. Who was with the snail eating? Oh, or with the lisp sort of a thing. I don't know. If someone says that I can't talk, then I'm just gonna take that at face value. Thanks for a compliment, Starface out here. There's but it could have been to anyone. That's true. It could have been to anyone here. So you're saying don't tell me what to eat or not. Oh, so you are maybe wait, you don't take food recommendations either? Because okay, I could sort of see that being um I can sort of see that being in a you don't uh, want people to tell you not to eat the beaver. You're going to eat the beaver. You're going to chow down, dare we say? But it could also go in the other direction. You're saying what country do you live in? And I sort of went dyslexia with the first word in your name, and thought you were asking everyone in the chat here what country everyone lives in. My YouTube recap for the year just came in, but like from the channel side of things, and apparently, as luck would have it, I'm mostly having people from English speaking countries in here, which helps for me because I'm in an English speaking country. Oh, wait. Oh, we didn't used to have an official language. Anyway, I'm in United States. I'm in United States. You're saying everyone is pretty, YouTube? That's so wonderful and positive. My goodness, I love your positivity out here. And hello to Adan Diaz. And you're talking about mollusks. You are telling me that an octopus is a mollusk, and that doesn't seem right. Surely you're thinking of another word. Surely you're thinking of another creature. You're saying no one compliments me in the chat. I'm gonna ban Shadow so that people can compliment me. I'm being banned from this. I'm being banned from my own stream. Oh my god. Okay, so you're saying I live in Asia. Animation. Yep, the country Asia. That's where I'm from. The did I ever tell you guys I went? Okay, this isn't really particularly interesting, but I went on a dating app, and occasionally I see people like give the like, and they'll have like stuff in their profile that's like, "Hey, hit me up if you're trying to learn Korean or Japanese, because I'm trying to learn Korean and Japanese, and then we could learn them together." And then I don't know how to say I'm the wrong type of Asian for that. Okay, so there's some compliments being given out. Everybody compliment Magdala. You light up the whole experience up in here. Do I ever get severely faded? I this not to sound too damn sober right now, but that's a reference to drugs, perhaps to drugs and to doing them. Um, I mean, I think I've been told that I just act like that. I just act like that sometimes. I've seen a drunk adult man in public sort of laughing and dancing and hugging people. And then once I saw that, as whatever old age I was, I realized to myself, I do just act like that and I don't do the drinks because I don't know, I feel like I'm liable to get addicted to things. So that's a lot of questions. You're saying you once moderated 40 people by myself. It was stressful. I live in a basement. What's a country? It's a cephalopod. Thank you for the clarification there. Okay, you're talking about your ecology, BSc. Oh, we're talking about degrees and things that we have. I have shit so angry. I just got to that part of the chat. I can't tell what I want to do with my hair. I mean, okay, sometimes I tried to put a little this way. I don't know. I don't know. I've had days where I think that it looks good, but I've had a lot of days where I don't. Hey, Lotus, I'm catching up on the chat. They're saying your name too many times with a little bit of Beetlejuice, with a little bit of Lebanese, with a little bit of too many moderators. It's a red flag. I can't tell when somebody has left the chat, but honestly, yeah, there was just a month or so there, or a couple of months where I was like, yeah, everyone who's been here regularly gets to be a moderator now. That's what's up. They're saying it's very crazy to know I'm not the only one able to see Jaro having having in my mind they use that much of a pixel in the screen. Look, sometimes I'm tiny, that's all. You're saying I should be mods as well? Well, you've been slightly less of a regular, but yeah, sure. Sure, that happen, make that happen. This thing, I just makes all the regulars mods. They announced a new Mega Man game. It's been 8 years, but they did it. Ooh, 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 ooh. Okay, wait, I'm not caught up in the chat. I can't know what's there. You're saying absolute power corrupts, but then it's like equalized power because it's like everybody. And then there's okay. Now I've caught up on the chat, and now I can ask you more about the Mega Man. Okay, is there been like a trailer, or do you know like who's working on it? What's your hopes and all of this? Load des. Um, I have a lot of questions for somebody who isn't into Mega Man myself, but but I like knowing what somebody is passionate about. I know somebody who does not show any emotions ever, who just kind of agrees to actions, and I'm not sure. There's you're saying only the handsomest are mods here, the ones that pay in cash for it. $4,800 as we say. Your basement dwellers is what you're saying. You're saying as we were excited earlier, but I've kind of ran out of steam because I'm tired of feeling all crappy. Dang it. Dang it. I always hope that, I don't know, fandom or like fan stuff can perk up a day and a mood and a life, but hey, sometimes the day is just going like that. Hello to Widow Rars. Oh hey, oh my gosh, you made it. Hey, you made it. Oh, coming in 2027. Okay. Okay, that's pretty good. There's okay. So so you're saying you're paying for it is where that was, and man, that would be messed up if everyone was mods, but I only made one person pay for it. And you're putting some howevers on here. You pay a subscription for it. Well, that's what it has meant all along. Like and subscribe. Well, hello to you, Widow Rars. What are you doing lately? Yesterday, I don't really work out, but then I got really mad yesterday and decided to walk 2 miles out of nowhere. Um, I decided to walk specifically to a place that was 1 mile away for barbecue because that's the good type of exercise that I like to do, and there's a prize at the end of it, and the prize was barbecue. We're returning to our house route. I mean, it does help. It does help with the no profile pics up in here. Okay, there's Lord saying they're doing a robot master design contest just like in the 90s with the original games. I'm excited to see what people come up with there. Okay, that's gonna be fun. You're gonna say that's why Shadow's rich. There's nepotisms going on. You're saying this time it's just for one of the robot masters instead of all eight, but still so cool that they brought it back. You're saying what kind of barbecue did they have? It was like some pulled pork and then some brisket and then some tri-tip and then some sweet potatoes were with it and then some mac and cheese. And apparently this place has like a lot of regulars, and this was my first time going to a restaurant by myself and also walking out of the house without telling someone that I was going somewhere beforehand, so it was a lot of first for me. But then I didn't know that the place was going to be so crowded. There was this 80-year-old woman who I guess has been in my hometown for longer than I have because she moved here from Detroit, but then has been here for 30 years. So I considered myself a local, but technically she's not from here and she's more of a local because she's been here for longer. And you're saying am I Korean or Mongolian? Those are the only two options. Damn, we're Filipino. We're Filipina. We're Filipinese. You're saying we're missing hijinks. I think they used to join frequently in the summer. I remember. Well, not everyone is jobless. Honestly, I think I'm just at the wrong time for hijinks most of these days. I still try to put in the suggestions when I can put them, but guys. Last time I tried to play a song recommendation in the stream, and could, if it doesn't come through in your headphones when I'm playing the music, is it all right if you like give me a heads up about that? Because I'm trying to share some tunes. They were solid tunes in here. Okay, so we're catching up in the chat. You're saying, why are we in bed? I feel uncomfortable. Can I sit in the chair instead? Yeah, I won't be able to see what chair you're in, but wah! Hey, that's what I get for not being caught up in the chat. Oh my goodness, there is a hijinks arcade. You're saying barbecue is always a good prize, right? That's gonna make me work out. That's gonna make me work out. Hey, we're not missing the hijinks. The hijinks are here. What do we all share life stories now? There's Asian from Asia, and you're saying oh God, I'm Muslim. Okay, that's perfect. Okay, you're saying don't believe the chat. I heard my name. I can never tell when somebody is like here or not, but hello always. And you're saying I have the Shinzo ape. American, so I'll say Japanese. Yeah, and once you say the name of the former prime minister who was what was that? Was this former prime minister like involved in a cult, and then somebody jerry-rigged like a nail shooter or something to hurl at him for being in the cult, and then he was gone. Then he's gone, but then this guy's legacy is now whenever I see the anime Spy Family, I think Shinzo Abe was wanting people to have a family and procreate, and that's the legacy of that guy. He's sort of a meme to me, even though he was a real politician. I keep being entertained by real politicians. Okay, scrolling on to the bottom, trying to do this, trying to do this. I'm a little light to be Filipino, and I'm half white. That's happening too. You're saying, why is there so many people? And you woke up earlier today. Oh my goodness. Then by coincidence, hello to you. You're saying, barbecue chicken and mac and cheese are amazing. This for sure. There's Widow Rars who had got to go by. I'm trying to catch up in the chat. You're saying, which mod do I like the most? I made everyone. I made everyone a mod. This is an unfair question. It's an unfair question. You're saying I'm the favorite one because I paid subscription? Sure, yeah. You know what? I'll take that. I'll take a little bit extra of the cash, and that's how it works. There's Nico. You're saying I have to say it again, but random stream is so good for unknown reasons. Interesting question. You're saying you're unalive, not to brag, but I'm on the OG mods. It's true. You're here a good gazillion years ago. You're saying the Time Splitters music is super good. At least you heard it. Yeah, I wanted to add ambiance yet again. I wanted to be for the everyone. You said you brought up the idea of mods, so I'm partially responsible for the dictatorship. Yep, dictatorship. We serve some mashed potato chips. There's okay. You're saying I'm the newest mod, and I'm the most corrupt of all. You're bad at picking mods, seeing how you choose me. True story. The last time my Discord server got like involuntarily reset was because I did the let's give everyone mod privileges over there too. I didn't vet anyone for that one. I was just like, this will probably turn out okay. And then they deleted everything and invited some spam bots, and that was rough, but it hasn't gone bad in this one so far. Yes. Okay, so there's choosing what is your profile pic. You're saying it's a cool image you saw in a video. Am I seeing some? Am I? Okay, wait. Now that I'm really looking at it, it's like Roaring Knight and Death's Delta Rune sort of a thing. That's my first guess, but specifically because there was Death stuff happening. You're saying never mind. You don't have to leave. Oh my. You finished rewatching Courage the Cowardly Dog. Is pretty great. Hey, that's pretty nice. Okay, wait. You have the list of things. Wait, did that end up in anyone else's recommendations? Oh, because that's something that I was sort of on my mind, but I didn't. I don't know if I remembered to tell you that I think YouTube had been recommending you Courage the Cowardly Dog at the same time it was recommending it to my girlfriend, and so then I'm getting two people for unrelated reasons talking about the same show to me, and that's amusing to me. There's okay, make mods battle to the death for favorite mod. I am amused all the time by death battles. This makes it sound like I'm subscribed to Death Battle ESPN. I mean, okay, just the concept of death battles. I sometimes I talk about my love of cartoon violence or something, but then I state it in a weird way, and then the person that I'm trying to get to know as I try to socialize out more in the real world just like doesn't know what to say to my love of cartoon violence and just goes kind of quiet, and I'm like, wow, there has to be better ways to state my interests and to connect over the concept of revenge and other interesting things in a way that doesn't make them sound off-putting. I don't know. Okay, if there's death battles, you're saying it wouldn't even be a contest. You'd win because you're awesome. I love the self-confidence. There, so Dick Williams saying, I've chosen May to be mods. I just say, Cheryl, hey, you can trust them, make them a mod, and they just do it. Yes, I mean, that's what happens when I don't have a lot going on. Okay, there's actually love saying, since we're talking about history and Jara was mentioning how safety was new to me, I don't know how long I've actually been a viewer. I kind of remember you, I should love, from I think you were commenting on a couple of my reaction videos when that was more of a thing. Oh my gosh, that reminds me. Earlier this week, somebody commented on the earliest Owl House reaction video they could find on the channel and was like, "Where's the start of the series?" I started watching it like for YouTube just like halfway through the first season, and then also the first one that I did got taken down also. Okay, so you're saying that's a bad idea, Turtle, don't make everyone bots. You're saying you remember this shit. You're saying you've been here like 2.5 years or something. Yeah, probably 2.5 years. You showed up in the summer of daily live streams. There's Nico you're saying Magdala is very true. Sometimes I just tell you to ban someone for fun and you just do it. We love corruption. We love a little corruption. You're saying, I'm also old. I was born a week ago. Oh my god, and we've all had false memories of you from over a week ago. You're saying, what's the Dragon Prince? You want like a recommendation sort of things? You're lucky you can pass for male and female. See, I guess that makes me happy and I want to believe that I'm lucky about it, but also I don't think I've used it for anything like fun or cool or interesting like identity theft or fraud. But I guess that's a type of luck. All right. So, then there's we're scrolling down. You're a corrupt gay official married couple. You sell your girlfriend reblog a courage thing on Tumblr. Yeah, right. Both in the same circle somehow. MB Spec, and you're saying you know the Dragon Prince. Did we did we start talking about the Dragon Prince? I don't know. Okay, I can't remember if I got to the final season or not because I wanted to watch that specifically with my mom because it was a show that we both liked, and so that was just a fun family thing we were doing together. So everyone loving the Dragon Prince up in here. I'm You're saying I'm not male or female, I'm Asian. Well, I've never been spoken to this way before, in a not male nor female but Asian way. I think I just found out that my oldest friend, and not oldest as in age-wise, but oldest as in we've known each other the longest other than my mama. I think I just found out that she doesn't like Thai food, and she's declared this to the I don't know, group of people who are going out on the town, but we know each other from game night. And I think all of us are Asian. I don't know. One might be a type of white individual, but I'm just sort of misreading your face. I'm Is this an insane thing to say about people? I'm categorizing people apparently. Okay, there's actually listening. All I know is that I was the one begging for magma drunk. So if you're there after that, I'm your senior. It's true. It is true. It's so true. You're saying I didn't know that Asian country. I'm realizing we all have a lot of shows in common. Yes, I like this. Very nice. I found you from reactions, but I was referring to the live streams. Okay, that's fair. You entered in the Night in the Woods era, and I think so did YouTube Music did because I think the first message was I was looking for Night in the Woods streams. By the way, did you find them? Did you find enough of them? This is kind of nosy, and also it's 2 years later. But hey, did you find all your Night in the Woods streams when you were looking for them? And there's Hijinks a Kid saying, after Courage, I need something to feel the horror-themed cartoon void. I actually did start Invader Zim last night. Oh, wait, have you like seen Invader Zim before? And all I know about it is that it greatly influenced all of these like artists that I look up to, and it was for some I feel like it gives people the good kind of brainworms. Okay. And also a different thing that's going on in my head as I look at the way this live stream is framed, just sort of casually, is that I always like have the urge to kick my feet when I'm laying down on my stomach, and so, but I think I've gone this entire channel without showing toes, so I think I'm gonna continue to not show toes. Hello. Yes, you could close my door. Okay. I was doing this with my door open, but my little brother who lives across from me is not about it, is not into it. All right, so there's dictatorship powers happening, and you tried to watch with my sister, but she skipped ahead, and we're gonna scroll on down to catch up in the chat. The theory that we were all created last Tuesday and everything before that, including memory, were also created that day is called Last Tuesdayism and cannot scientifically be disproven. But but it's freaky to think about, and it's pretty freaky to think about. I think that's basically a Star Trek episode about that. And then Captain Picard plays the flute in there. You don't have dictatorship power yet. Ooh, it's a bid for it. There's Hijinks Arcade saying you're gonna say sensing bad energy from that one. I didn't get to see the trolls. How very amusing, but you know what? It is all right. We've had the right amount of trolls. Okay, so there's you're saying that corrupt is not how you spell correct. Yeah, corrupt and correct. They're very close to each other. Okay, you're saying you're talking about the various types of power that you've got, and Danny, I'm catching up in the chat, and you're saying that I'm new. Hello to you. Hello to Danny, who's new. Hey, yeah, the topic of the stream can be whatever you like it to be, can be whatever's on your mind, and I'll try to respond, but I've gone sort of down in the chat. I don't know where we are. Okay, scrolling, you say, I knew Invader Zim is super popular with the Hot Topic crowd, which is kind of cool. Right? I don't know what the Hot Topic crowd is nowadays. I know that they sell has been hotel merch and maybe some anime merch over at the Hot Topic, but I still have this mental image of the Hot Topic crowd being like you're gonna wear a studded belt, you're gonna say, Mom, it's not just a phase, and you're gonna live true and authentically to yourself. It's some good stuff. And then there's things that are weird happening. You're saying you're the ghost aggressively dancing in the background there. Yep, yep. You know, constant house guest. You're saying I miss Landon. At least he made us think. May the Lord Hootie rest their soul. Oh yeah, it's only been a couple of streams since then, but you know what? We can miss a person there. The topic of the stream, sadly or fortunately, has been butt hair. I think we exhausted the topic, and that's not something that I ever thought that I would say about booty hair from your booty from your between the cheeks. You know, I think it eliminates chafing is what I want to say. Oh my god! If you say booty hair from the booty from the cheeks intensely enough, 3 people leave the stream, and you know what? It's fair. Good for them. Escape. Okay, so watch out. You're about to be kissed by yourself for the next few years. We get some. Moderating at some invaders and shirts. This is fair. Oh my god. Okay, I think I had seen like a couple of messages from this 7X individual that you guys are nuking from orbit, but okay, the fact of I don't know getting here to the messages a little late, it's cracking me up honestly. Okay, you're saying bro is waiting. I wonder if all the new viewers are in fact one troll. That would be bizarre. That would be bizarre indeed. Okay, if someone opens up like that, they probably don't have any important info to say, but okay, wait. Getting to these after all of the context has already passed is oh, is is very funny to me. Oh no, we get some hidden messages up in here. Hello to D's. When I snap my fingers, you will forget you were ever gay. Where are you going with this? Where are you going with this? That's a funny thing to say to people because some of them can be like, I'm not gay. Ideally, you want to be on like an Omegle chat. Do people still do those, or is it gone forever? They're saying folks think it's fun to say out of pocket stuff. Scroll to the next stream and repeat. I, but then like with the way that the YouTube auto filters are going, sometimes I can't even get an approved user up in here. There's you're saying not in Gay Town, yeah, not in Gay Town. Okay, but with the way that YouTube autofilters are going, I don't even know what can count as being out of pocket. I don't even know. You have to be pretty creative, have to get pretty creative to say something that's horrifying but still passes the filters, I want to say. Didn't get to read what the guy who got nude said. That's one other reason that I should put you on the blue name sort of a thing so you can see all the stuff, I suppose. There's okay, you saying just some racist stuff. All right. All right. Oddly specific. It was oddly specific. You got me curious up in here. Okay, you're saying we're all secretly gay in Gay Town. That's some good stuff. Okay, I'm I feel like I had a train of thought and then I started talking like really fast or something and then there's no train of thought anymore. Are you guys getting out of the house lately? Are you guys being social or anything like that? I'm I I think of the adventures lately. There was ranked racism. Oh my gosh, amazing. Okay, there's hijinks I keep saying, but yes, I do have a list of best courage episodes now that I finished it. I really want to recommend checking out. Okay, I don't know what the amount of copyright strikes or things happen with the Courage the Cowardly Dog, but I don't know. I could do written reviewed and things. You're saying clapped. What is your doing? I'm chilling a little bit, streaming on the phone Wi-Fi. Phone Wi-Fi? Yeah, that's what I could call the mobile data. While my Wi-Fi is out, you're saying you don't know what to say to all of this. Just to say whatever's on your mind. That's that's supposed to be the premise. I'm thinking of getting a massive milkshake tomorrow. I've done sort of a I tried to learn some um, voting sort of strategy from the YouTube channel CGP Grey, how to vote to decide what to eat in a group so that you have the best vote every time. And it's to allow everyone to vote on things more than once. This is a little bit tougher with an even number of people or an even number of votes. But anyway, I saw that all those years ago, 11 years ago, and I thought to myself, when I get into a group of people and we all decide what to eat and I'm finally being social, then I can use this. I can use this strategy. And I finally got to do that. Yesterday you're saying pineapple is an apple, and you're saying wait, we're saying okay, this is William saying we're here to protect Jardo from the verbal crimes of the users in the chat and abandon anyone who says where the keys are, and I'm not allowed to escape. Don't try to save them. Interesting. I'm trapped in here. You're not in here with me. I'm in here with you. Very interesting for that. Okay, there's pineapple is apple. Some things going on. You're having some wariness. You can't overthrow the government, and I can trust Nicholas Juju. He's a good person. Has been here long enough. I see no malice in him. Make him mod. That is fair. Invasion of people with the default profile picture. That was a sign of trolling in the horizontal live streams for a second there. I don't know. I guess when I put like Magma or Gartic Phone in the title, and then streamed on a Friday, then I got a lot of trolls in that scenario specifically. Did they say anything actually offensive that time? Very sensitive. Okay. Okay, you're talking about being social crazy. I would never. Right? I can't believe the getting out that is possible. I'm trying to make an effort to get out, but it keeps being complex. I keep feeling like I'm trying to get to know people and it doesn't make any sense and none of it makes any sense and there's a different set of rules for every single person. Very, very peculiar. Very infuriating. I don't know. You're saying, who's stealing my copyrighted name? Who's the governor now? I'm very confused. You're confused specifically about who your governor is? I don't know. I just saw a news story today that a little child, and by a little child I mean a 14-year-old, is running for governor of Vermont because Vermont doesn't have a minimum age range to be governor, and so this little individual has made his own political party and is running for the governor. I mean, I think if someone really old can do it, someone really young might as well do it too. So you're talking about being social right now, and you've come in here to say, oh my god, I keep seeing like comedy stuff coming out about the about the Diddy documentary and stuff. Mostly people in reaction to 50 Cent's incredible amount of pettiness. Like, yeah, there's comedy to be found in there. There's Magdala saying, I've been out of the home lately. I have 2 jobs now. Trying to move out. The rent here is like over 500. Whoa. Wow. For real. Okay, wait. Okay, what's your second job since you got a first job and then you got a antique bookstore job? Ooh, wait. Okay, are you having like book appreciation these days? Okay, wait, you're the governor of Europe, fastest band in the West. Your pulse is everywhere. Panda with Guap saying, if you had the choice to be any soup, what soup would you choose? That's a wonderful question. Thank you for that. Well, I have to be the soup. I think I have a lot of opinions on the soups, honestly. I've been eating a lot of soups. Okay, I love a clam chowder because that's a really lovely time to dip a cheese into crispy grilled cheese sandwich into. But is that me? Is that myself? I have also tried the soup that is Vietnamese, that is pho, and that's pretty great also. Has a little bit of everything, but it doesn't. I think my most treasured experiences with soup are when we're dipping something. You don't like a clam chowder? You don't like a clam chowder? We're talking about soups now, I think. I don't know if the person who is talking about all of the soup is still here. There's Nico Juju saying, I keep looking away for a second, and every time I come back someone's been banned. You would be the ramen. Thank you for a normal question. And and I do hope that you individuals who are here who have been regulars of this chef for a while, I should love and Lotus. I do hope that you shall not stress about people who are in here. It's just I hope that the mod thing is like for fun. Okay, wait. Okay, so you don't like clam chowder though. Your favorite soup is the one they have at the soup store. Okay, I I'm never good at picking things as if they're in a personality quiz. I can't pick a fursona. I can't pick a soup sona. I can't pick a what kind of coffee would you be? What kind of dessert would you be? I could maybe pick a dessert. I have strong opinions about desserts, which makes the decisions maybe a little bit easier. Clam chowder. Yeah. Okay, that feels like it should be for somebody who lives by the ocean, but maybe I just like being surrounded by sourdough bread. So clam chowder in a sourdough bread bowl because I as a human person want to be in a sourdough bread bowl. Yeah, yeah, that's the way I make decisions, apparently. Okay, let's talk of the soup store. Your pulse is fast for entirely real life reasons. Are you doing workouts with us right now, right here, right now? Customer support, you're the only person that hasn't said tomato soup. Thank you. I very much enjoyed your answer. Everyone on the live streams has tomato soup on the mind. The everyone, or have you asked like two other people and you had a tomato soup coincidence? Because I'm not gonna lie, there was a little bit tomato soup in the back of my head, but I just have more of a meaningful emotional history with clam chowder. Yeah, that's a true sentence. That's a true sentence about myself. Okay, so am I scrolling to the bottom of this yet? You like chicken soup? No other ways I can think of. I should love on the chicken soup. And then is the ocean a soup? Dangerous question. You're asking dangerous questions. I think it is. I think it is honestly. Okay, we get a couple of couple of other bad messages that I don't get to see since I'm not at the bottom. You might have banned someone thrice accidentally. I meant to ban them only once, but I guess I'm too powerful. It's like popping bubbles, isn't it? It's like popping bubbles. Okay, isn't part of the definition of soup being edible? Oh, wait, okay. I think the ocean is a little bit poisonous if you have too much of it, right? If you have too much of it. But then a lot of things are poisonous if you have too much of them. And I have I talk nonstop in just sort of a wall of sound for like 40 minutes, but I guess I have to go ahead and pause for that one because does this sort of imply to me that I think the ocean is a soup if you have a small enough amount of it? Anyway, we keep on scrolling down here. Would a public pool be a soup? Say less. Say less, say less. You've asked like a bare minimum 5 people, not including you. Ooh, now this is a real poll. And hijinks with the king hijinks catching us up that pretty sure the mask is my favorite courage episode masterclass in using subtext to tell the story you want within their limitations. Ooh, I haven't really thought about the types of stories that Courage the Cowardly Dog sets out to tell because when I think of Courage the Cowardly Dog, I'm thinking, here's a show that wants to create ambiance and some interesting gags and stuff. Okay, you're saying there's too many poisonous fish in the ocean, so you're thinking I eat the entire ocean and that's a soup, that a soup has to be something that you can finish. So if I take a bowl of the ocean, just a select bowl of it, and I'm like, this is a soup, then you wouldn't consider this to be the entire ocean. And then therefore that's the ocean isn't a soup. Okay, I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. You're talking about pairing things. Pufferfish can kill you with very little. Not to mention, what is that one extremely poisonous um stained glass shell sort of thing. It has like a really beautiful shell, but then it has like a stinger and it's the most poisonous thing in the world. And maybe it washes up in Australia. I don't know. I'm trying to remember what the name of that thing is. So you're saying the ocean is indeed a soup, salty fish, plants, fish soup, it's soup. And oh God. I'm loving the thoughtfulness on this. You don't have to finish the soup for it to be soup. We have leftovers for a reason. But leftovers imply the intention or possibility of finishing it, I want to say. Unless you also refer to things you just leave on the plate, but then the restaurant like tosses it or something. If you refer to those as leftovers as well, then I guess the ocean has leftovers if you don't finish the whole ocean in one go. You might be talking about the blue ring squid. I don't know. Okay, like the most poisonous thing. Thinking of another dangerous animal, does a jar of pickles count as soup? I think if you served a jar of pickles to me as soup, we would have to no longer be friends. It's a harsh sort of a pronouncement, and it's very dangerous. If you said there's gonna be soup, and then instead of the soup, you served up a jar of pickles, I would be so sad. I would be so sad. All right. The things you're saying, anything not eaten becomes a leftover, whether you take it home or not, because it's left over, is what's up. If you love soup so much, why don't you marry soup? That's some good questions. I mean, I'll consider it for real. I've been perturbing myself with marriage thoughts lately. There's Hijinks telling us, literally an episode about courage being the biggest ally and rescuing a lesbian buddy from an abusive dog gang boss and returning her with her cat girlfriend. And that just seems like the dream, honestly. I feel like I would want to watch Courage the Cowardly Dog and then specifically make fan fiction about the background characters. I think that's what I would want to do. So there's compelling arguments going on about the soup. Meanwhile, the ocean is not a soup to eat, a soup to contemplate. It's a contemplation soup. Normalize contemplation soups. How are you plating your contemplation soup? And then you're talking about a lesbian bunny. We're all soup at the end of the day. That's really scary thing to say. You asked me what kind of soup I would be, and I answered clam chowder. And then I didn't know that the person that I am, before thinking of any of this, could also be a soup. Is it because I have blood? Like 60% water? Is that why I'm a soup? I don't know if a spoon can get me in like bites. Okay, so we're scrolling past this. What up, Red? Loving the channel. I'm kind of ratchet though. How did this happen? How did this happen? I think I've known things that are ratchet before, and then maybe done some things on a one-off sort of a basis that I've thought were like that. I haven't thought of my whole self as that, though. I've thought of myself as a clam chowder. That's a different thing. Okay, so you're talking about jar as a bowl, and the juice is the broth, and the pickles are everything else. This feels ratchet now, I suppose. Okay, your favorite soup is like mother, like daughter. That's a real soup. I like it a lot. Hello from Slovenia. Hello to you. I'm, I'm, I'm curious what's new in Slovenia since you're here or you were here. Maybe you're already gone since I'm behind in the chat. Anything that can make you sick from the average human eating it is not edible, and therefore not edible. So could we have decorative soup? Would it still be considered a soup? Oh, could we have a soup that's only a soup for other things that are not human, like a dog food soup? And then because we've culinarily prepared it, and I'm a human who's preparing it, maybe that's also something that is a soup. I'm the definition of soup is now becoming a strange study of something that's maybe a little bit mentally exhausting, but I'm all in on this, honestly. Okay, it's all about how you view things because meatloaf could technically be a cake, so the ocean can be a soup. It's technically about how you view things, but I want to say that I want to add to the definitions of all of this. If a restaurant served something to me and then labeled it as soup and then there was a jar of pickles and then I'm really mad at that because I'm expecting a soup. um I feel like the level of how mad I would be should also factor into the definition of whether something is a soup or not. Okay, you're saying my homework ain't my dog. What was your homework? What was your homework? What'd you do for homework? And if you think about it, aren't we all just one big soup bowl full of blood and gunk? I've never thought about that. I've thought about maybe the blood and gunk sometimes. Don't think I've thought about it like that. Okay, so there's hijinks okay saying, but yeah, that's what the mask is about. Courage being an ally and the cat realizing that not all dogs are bad while riding off in the sunset with her bunny. That is so adorable. I'm I want to get all in on some Courage the Cowardly Dog characters and character design. You're saying, I don't know if ratchet is a compliment or an insult or what kind. I think it's a description that is usually probably a little bit insulting. It's definitely in the slang definitions. We're saying hello to Slovenia. Oh, well, I actually, I don't mind it. I don't mind it. You're saying it's not too suspicious, but keep an eye. Yasmin Prince is saying what's going on. Okay, you're talking about not soup. You're talking about real and empathetic Courage the Cowardly Dog sort of episodes. Milk makes lots of people sick, and yet it's still a food or drink. Dang, this is the important kind of perspective that we have to bring to this kind of discussion. I, I'm saying this as if the entire stream was supposed to be about soup, and that's why I'm thinking about it so deeply right now. But it's only been about soup since you came in here, Panda with the guap, and and I don't object to this whatsoever. I'm having fun philosophizing about it. Okay, soup must be edible. That's why I said average human. The average human. I think the average human since I don't know, was it like 2019? Might be an Indian guy. Yeah, it might, and he's like a little bit young, either Gen Z or millennial. I don't know. Um the average human used to be a Han Chinese guy, but but that's not. I don't know. They've lost on the leaderboards or something. Okay, there's you're talking about how Slovenia is a beautiful place, although there are some stereotypes. You're saying in quotes. Oh my. I can't think of the stereotypes off the top of my head because probably I can't think of stereotypes because the actual information that I have about Slovenia is probably also wrong because the first thing that I wanted to say when you said hi, I'm from Slovenia was, oh my goodness, I'm trying to learn the Cyrillic alphabet so I can read people's names when they're from, I don't know, Eastern Europe and other places that use Cyrillic alphabet. But I don't know if Slovenia is one of those actually. It might not be. And so I might just be displaying the depths of my ignorance. Okay, so compelling. You're asking if all drinks are soup. Well, if a gazpacho is perfectly smooth and a soup and it's kind of a drink, then maybe yeah. So there's confusing things happening, and all soups are drinks. So drinks are only soup if they have something in them, like boba. But what if a drink has ice in it? And what if there's cold soups such as gazpacho? Okay, you're saying it must be savory. Have I had a sweet soup before? Have I had a dessert soup? Is cereal a dessert soup? There's Dr. William saying, I'm the only one that can insult Shadow without being banned, because mods can't ban mods. Shadow fell for my mental control to make me a mod, and I look like an Arabian sun boa sometimes. Wait, am I remembering enough? I thought one time you said that was a compliment. Am I misremembering? You're saying I can't insult people now. It's okay. I let's put a single pass on one. There's Chris showing up to say today's my birthday. Happy birthday to you, Chris. Although I don't know if you're already gone because I'm behind in the chat. Okay, there's King Hijinks telling us about King Ramsay's Curse is great, of course, but I also like the first episode, Night at the Cat's Motel. Oh, interesting. And then there's Guitar and such subscribing. Well, cool, awesome, welcome. And then I look like something somebody would say, no, no. Oh my gosh, the insults never stop. You can insult me if you want without. Oh my goodness, be so civil, but be creative. Happy birthday. How did you escape Deltarune, Chris? Oh yeah, that's a good question. You don't know what ratchet means. Thought it was cool. I don't know. Is that person even still here? We're coming and going with all of this. You're talking about soup and saying soup is so good. The soup has been quite the topic. Which things are not soup? I want to say, let's go ahead and say bread isn't soup because you want to dip bread into the soup, and so therefore they should be different things. I think maybe I could start defining things one by one, defining which things are soup and which things aren't soup, and then eventually we'll have all the answers. And then at the end of the list, we'll figure out whether the ocean is soup or not. And then only after I have like 1,000 other examples of soup and not soup, then maybe I'll start to have a clue on all of that. All right. Da, 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 da. You're talking about, you just realized I started the whole soup thing and I'm proud. All right, very nice. And they are talking about possibly the most insulting snake you can be compared to. Okay. Okay. Arabian sand boa, not a compliment. You're talking about bring the curry powder and the turmeric power. Right, taking a nap. Yeah. I have a love of lying down and being sleepy and all of it. Okay, the average human is Indian. I'm winning the average contest, and and we're dealing out some pronouns, and then Hijinks Arcade telling us literally the first episode is about Courage, Muriel, and Eustace going out for a vacation and staying at a motel run by a cat guy, only for the cat guy to try and feed them to spiders. Oh, try and feed them to spiders. almost read that as try to feed them spiders, which would also be pretty scary. I imagine Courage the Cowardly Dog could make an ordinary culinary adventure pretty scary. All right, there's saying it is what it is. We're declaring some girl. Is gender real? The answer is yes, I am one. Gender is a sham. Oh, God. And then there's a miserable pile of gender happening. A girl is where you make a barbecue. Yeah, I mean, that was true of me yesterday. I went on a walk. I came back on a with like you know what? Let's make the number bigger every time I say it. I came back carrying 50 pounds of barbecue on my walk that I fed my family for an entire week. And that's what I did yesterday. Okay, so by Goldenstead, the real answer is anyone knows who they are. There's some husband stuff happening. I'm catching up. Bread is bread. And then we're running circles around us. And then there's a Mr. Incredible meme. You didn't ban the trolls this time. They're just gone. There's some swag happening. Cool. You're saying the ocean is soup. Yasmin is still here to tell us that the ocean is soup. I'm about it. I'm about it. And then I'm having some gender neutral swag. I'm also about that. Do you know how the early universe after the Big Bang is called? It's called a quark soup. You sure? No, I've heard that term before, so I know that you're sure because I'm also sure. Can I eat it though? Okay, sometimes things are called a soup because they share qualities with a soup. Yeah, how does this mean? Is a smoothie soup? Okay, we'll keep on scrolling. Things are soup adjacent. There's feeding people who stay at a motel to the spiders. Bizarre and effectively creepy. I feel like it could go twofold. What if they fed you spiders and then you get fed to the spiders? We get a fart announcement in the house, everybody, and then we keep on scrolling, trying to find the bottom of this chat. Good morning, people of America. Good morning to you, and good morning to people of Slovenia as well. There's Widow Raj saying, I'm very confused because my crush was joking about kiss me and dating me, but she's my best friend, and jokes about it, mostly with me, but sometimes other people in my friend group. What? I I mean, at that rate, okay, if this is your crush, I mean, you just kind of have to ask. I think you just kind of have to ask. You just kind of have to be like, it's okay if that's a joke, but just know that if you wanted to date, I would date you for real. Just kind of have a statement like that, just sort of ready to go. That's my recommendation down here. And then you're talking about the Milky Way as a soup, and I'm in the Milky Way, so I'm in a soup, and I don't have to choose what kind of soup I am. Oh God, why? All life came from the primordial soup. I'm frightened here. You're saying we must not eat it. That was like the apple all over again. I like Slovenia, but there's some stereotypes that come with it. Oh my goodness, wait, you've said this 2 times now, 2 times in a row. Well, I hope that you're not being too stereotyped. I hope people are treating you fair and good. And rip the band-aid off and ask them, babe. Okay, thank you. For some reason, I feel like the a pre-prep phrasing of it's okay if it was a joke is so important, but also honesty is also so important, and being upfront with your feelings is also so important. Okay, they're saying she's not allowed to date. Ha! You're asking if Tom Brady is a soup. Well, maybe if all human beings are soup, then yeah, but if other people on his team are not soup, then what would Tom Brady specifically have that makes him a soup, that makes other people on the team not a soup? Okay, you guys are so lucky. I don't even know enough people to have a crush on one. The minimum is one. Let's get you out of the house. I hope you find someone suitable to have a crush on. The first person that you meet walking out of the house. I hope you're into. I hope you're into mailman. There's okay. Panda with the class saying, okay, I very much enjoy your energy and your chat, but my soup needs to be goodbye. Goodbye. Good soup to you. Oh my God. You know what? I'll miss you. You're probably gone already. You're probably gone already. I'll miss you. There's. If you want to test the waters, flirt back in an extreme, but could still be considered a joke way and see if they get flustered. Ooh, an extreme way. You're saying, okay, you had a crush on someone with a car. The bones were shattered. Oh, you're saying you have a crush, like in a way that you're crushing someone's bones. Okay, great. Then there's some encouragements. Here's some bones hurt. There's hijinks that keep saying it's so funny to me when people try hard desperately to put someone into a gender box, but keep changing their mind about what box to put you in, which just proves how pointless these boxes are. Oh, which reminds me of a different thing, which is not gender, so I can't tell if this is getting off topic. Reminds me that I got to give somebody an advent calendar because my mom is buying a lot of stuff out of the internet, and some of it is an advent calendar puzzle. And then each of the puzzle pieces for each, I don't know, day of the month, they came in a tiny decorative box. Sometimes things that are tiny are very cute and endearing to me. I'm afraid of owning too many items, but if they're tiny, then that's just appealing and good. All right. So there's you have been flirting. There's Riley artist saying sometimes when I tell people I'm Slovenian, sometimes they ask if I'm fat or if oh my goodness, this stereotyping you as overweight. Oh my goodness. I I wouldn't have thought that that would be a specific one, really. Oh my god, I totally expected some kind of, I don't know, maybe a food related stereotype. I feel like I've encountered several of those. Hope no one's driving in their car right now. I have to remember not to sing the Deltarune song "Driving in My Car" right after a beer. I I have to remember not to sing that in normal scenarios because I got to drive passenger seat in my best friend's car for the first time yesterday. Last night I got to do that, and what a unique experience that was. What a lovely first thing to happen. And I was resisting the urge to sing that song because I know she didn't have any beers, much less any wine at this, I don't know, party thing that was, I don't know, a holiday networking party for psychologists. You guys ever been to a holiday networking party for psychologists? I was there just kind of as a plus one. I've got nothing to do with psychology. I'm sort of like an emotional support dog. I don't mind that whatsoever. All right, there's Yasmin Prince saying is Anakin Skywalker. It continues, a soup in the sense he burned on Mustafar. In Revenge of the Soup is he a burnt soup? I think he's too crispy. I think Anakin Skywalker has an even lower water content than most human beings. I think if I'm 60 or 70% water right now, that's mostly water, so that's a soup, You know? But Anakin Skywalker goes on and becomes not only burnt, which affects your water content, not only burnt, but a cyborg. And that's metals, which isn't water, so there you go. There's some more. He's more of a steak at that point. Yes. Yeah, he is. Okay, we can exist outside of boxes. You're a hoarder of items. It's frightening to be a hoarder sometimes, but if it works for you, that's what's going on. You hate figurative boxes. And there's Ed Williams saying, I just hit some bumps in the road. In a street called School Crossing. It's full of bumps. Someone needs to do something about that. That's probably one of the things that worried me the most when I was learning how to drive. Probably one of the things that worried me the most was school zones. But I try to avoid them and try to be like slow in them. But yeah, but I try to like look out for people on the street corner who are about to cross in the street. And if it's a child, then you definitely don't run it over. And you can tell that something is a child if it has a backpack. Um and then you don't run over adults either. And that's also important. Okay, what else are we thinking about? Think inside the box. You have a collection of very different items. Is beer a soup? You should put some chunks in it, probably. Okay, let's agree on more definitions. Maybe if it's mostly alcohol or enough alcohol to get you drunk, then the category is alcoholic beverage. And therefore, because it's a different category, we're gonna say that one's not a soup. Which means that if alcoholic milkshakes exist, then that's not a soup. But maybe if a milkshake exists by itself and it's a little chunky, then that is a soup until you add enough booze to get sauced. All right, you're stopping to asking about the soup. That's fair. That's fair. You're saying they're right about the second stereotype, though. Oh, you cut it off possibly because it was a slur or something. I don't know. I'm making some assumptions, so I don't know what the other part of your stereotype was, but I hope whatever it is, you're having a good life overall. Okay, soup talk is over. There's setups for trolling. There's Lotus going to go. Okay, revoking the soup privileges. Very nice. Very good. You're talking about nuts next? That's so interesting. Um, I think I've just learned a couple of facts about the either cacao nut or shea nut that produces shea butter. I hope that's how that's pronounced. I've only known shea butter as a moisturizer for skin and hair, but apparently, since it's an all natural butter product, you can you can cook with that too. And I didn't expect that. I didn't expect that whatsoever. All right, where do we go? This, you found a new Night in the Woods playthrough that was pretty good by some people that led me to a new channel. Oh, hey, exciting stuff, exciting stuff. Where are we? Then there's, why the hell does YouTube censor the word nut? And also, you're saying a miserable pile of nuts is okay. It's being a little bit, I don't know, censored in here. You're saying, is Commander Cody a soup? Ah, do you just have Star Wars on the mind? Perhaps even the Clone Wars on the mind? Hey, that's a whole, honestly, a little bit always in the back of my mind as well. I'm I'm thinking of clones such as Kix, Kix. Well, that's a medic, and that's also the name of a cereal. So a cereal is a type of a soup, I want to say. So some of the clones are a soup. And so then Commander Cody is also a clone. And if there's a precedent in there for a clone being a soup, then yeah, Commander Cody is a soup because Kix is a soup and Kix is a cereal, which is a soup. Okay, you're saying you can think of a few things. You have many nuts. They're like this thing that's not a car. That's a very important characteristic. You dislike my way of defining things. This is what's happening. All right. Then there's an amount of autism. There's 12 lollipops. There's rally artist saying it's not a slur. You can find out yourself. It's embarrassing for me to say. I don't know. You like the first two letters were like F and an E in them. No, my imagination runs out. My imagination runs out. There's talk of cow nuts. There's Nico Chuchu going to go. Hey, thanks for stopping by, Nico Chuchu. They're saying, are peanuts a type of a pea and a nut? There's smack, not again. You're going to bring out the spray bottle. Interesting. Pea plus nut, peanut. Then there's Riley saying, is a Soviet-made Kalashnikov concern AK-47 assault rifle with 76.2 times rounds of soup. I saw the way that sentence was starting. I should have maybe expected the way that it was going to end since we're asking if everything's a soup. I still didn't expect. That one. Okay, I'm going to try to figure out Wi-Fi. I want to figure out the Wi-Fi. I took a break from trying to figure it out. Took a break and just did all of this, but I want to figure out the Wi-Fi in time to maybe react to an Amazing Digital Circus episode 7 because I was excited about that. That was on my mind, and there's maybe 7 minutes left to do that, right? So let's get on down to the bottom of the chat to see every last thought. You're recommending the channel Eric and Sarah Level Up. It's a great channel. Ooh, okay, cool and inclusive. You're saying the second most thorough Night in the Woods playthrough after yours. Whoa, okay. The I had no idea we were up there with like thoroughness. Okay, that's pretty fun. If you were a nut, what would it be? I actually realized I don't know enough fruits to get all of them. And then also my little brother is allergic to some of them. So whichever one that I would choose, if it's cashews, then I'm just saying that I would kill him, which is not something I want to say. But if it's peanuts with or almonds, he can consume both of those and they're safe and nice to him. So if I chose either of those, then it would be saying like I'm nice to my brother, I suppose. You're saying Anakin is deep fried Jedi Knight. It's funny every time. Okay, you're talking about hazelnuts, coconuts. You're saying you're talking about slurs. I that were used against ferrets, the animal. Very frightening, very frightening. You're talking about being a coconut. Several messages are deleted. There's AK-47s and being timed out. Oh my goodness, there's some femboys. Ooh, you're saying your phone dropped on your face again. Hey, that's one way we could end this stream, huh? Okay. Do. So be patient. Avery Jar will get to your message shortly. Oh, okay. Was there was there an Avery type message? Was there one that was like that? I'm so sorry. I've been I don't know, on the track of a million different things. Was that in the mass removal? Oh dear. Oh dear. Okay, well, I think we shall end off on this one. There's Avery saying, "Do you like the Owl House?" Oh, okay, there we are. Yes, yes, I do like the Owl House, and sometimes I wonder what's the best way to appreciate it still, since now it's been has it been ended for like it's been ended for over 2 years now. Well, I'm glad people are still like watching it and appreciating it and having a excellent time with it. But I, I wonder what the future of the fandom or any of it is, right? Yeah. Okay. So. First from Undertale must be a peanut. They read every message eventually. What nut would Jarup be? You know what? Let's go for a hazelnut. And now I think I have reached. You are gay. You okay? Okay. Congratulations on being gay. I'm gonna go try to fix the Wi-Fi probably unless it's already fixed, and then I'll put on a horizontal live stream for our Amazing Digital Circus episode 7. So thank you for being here. What do you mean peanuts are legumes?